This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Excellent looking shot here.
There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. I'll tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. Former college #1 makes another birdie. Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. Then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Frank, what's the right play here? Second to the short 12th.
Short flags, obviously got to keep it on that front section. When you've got a back flag, you've got to get it over that little faint ridge that's in the middle of the screen. Got to go past that.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
Chance for back-to-back.
Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
Coverage continues at EA Sports. Let's go out now to our featured golfer at the 13th. Frank, it's only the first round, but you're a believer that these can be as important as the final round.
Well, if you get yourself in contention, Rich, then obviously you get the momentum much easier. And the feeling of being in the hunt, that's going to give you the adrenaline rush. And you'll breeze through 4 rounds.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Settles in over the putt. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
So through 1 round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the California Classic.
Well, when he goes after it like he is here, grab the fire extinguisher, put out that ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air.
Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
All right, Frank, break down this approach shot here at hole number 1.
Well, typical Pete Dye confuses you straight out of the gate. Draw off the tee, and then you've got to hit that second shot in left to right. Look at the angle of that green. It points away to the right.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Frank, that birdie will help the cause. Frank, this is a nice-looking hole. Not long, only 371 yards, but challenging in its own way.
It is challenging. The best approach here, really, is a conservative tee shot to set up an aggressive second.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Now getting ready for the approach shot here at hole number 2. That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Yet another birdie and yet another tie at the top of the leaderboard.
Moving to the third hole to par 4 again. This one 471 yards. Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. First par 3 of the day. It is the 4th here at PGA West, sitting at just under 200 yards in the card.
Should be safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, yeah, he's going to love that one, Frank. Sensational effort.
No, just eat that up.
So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard 5th hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the Bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So for the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put 2 little bunkers there.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. That was not a very good read right there. So they'll tap in. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the California Classic. Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. And you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Frank here at the par 4 12th, getting ready for this approach shot. Good chance for a 3.
There is. Notice the contours on the green. They sort of slope towards the back and down that left side. So you can actually use that in your favor with this approach.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Now at the par 3 13th, and Frank, in some ways, this is vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. His use of wooden bulkheads, plus the fact that he gives you that diminishing line. The further you go back into this green, you realize it's a larger carry. It just sort of reeks of something that's hit to the front mid-right of this green.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop. Second shot.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Putt for par. Needs one. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole in the lead, Frank is very much intact. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out here on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Moving into this second shot here at hole number 14. It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Par 4 15th, measuring in at 468 yards. Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
See what they do now with this second shot at hole number 15. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today, it's the final round of the California Classic. 14th hole, par 4 of 389 yards. It is short, but Frank, there is some danger lurking along the way.
Yeah, most of it's sand. Two options really: poke it down that left side, let it run down there like a bowling alley. Either that or take that bunker completely out of play, 290, 300 yard category, and get it down there where it's just a flick wedge in.
This one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of Pete Dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now we look some 20, 30 years later, Pete Dye is going to go down with the Mackenzies, the Donald Rosses, the C.B. McDonalds as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015. But now the Career Builder Challenge will return to the rotation in 2016. And that's in for a par. Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. You can't hide the flag stick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, then all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
And he's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
He'll need to be strong with this. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Could use this one. This is for par. He'll take par and move on. Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I have ever seen. Just let it rip. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Should be safely on deck.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Let's check in on the action at the 15th. As we check in on this early round action, we join our featured golfer, already playing well to this point. Couple of low numbers on the scorecard.
Yeah, it looks very good. Good swings out there and some good putting as well.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that canyon and look like the hole was built straight, because really that's the way it should be played. If you start looking left and turning it into a dog leg, then all of a sudden bad things can happen. So look straight at the green. That's your line. Just try and bisect those 2 fairway bunkers.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Not a gimme, but well within his range. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Settles in over the putt. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Enjoying that trio at the top.
18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
So the final approach shot here at Wolf Creek Golf Club, Frank, you want to make it a good one.
A good drive, just a short wedge in here. Everything slopes back towards the player. Relatively skinny green that sort of does slope left to right. You judge that pitch shot. Ideally, you'd like to hit it in a little low. Try and bounce it towards the flag, maybe with a little bit of spin on the tail end of it. Get the crowd happy.
And it makes the green in regulation. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, well, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway. If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off, because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Shouldn't be a problem here. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Start of the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th.
It looks intimidating off the back of this tee, Rich, and that's because the desert ridge on that right side, it sort of blocks your view, and you don't see the right side of this fairway. Once you realize there's a lot more room to the right, then that tee shot becomes a little bit easier. Now also the angle of this green, you're going to see it sort of turn to the right there. So you've really got to be careful on where the flag is positioned on this green. If they put the flag back right, then obviously that's the hardest this hole's going to play. Flag sort of left of center, then this still could very much be a birdie hole.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. He has a 12-footer here.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Frank, that looked good to me. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. That's good work. That's a good par right there. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play, because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green has nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green. Safely on deck.
Big swing right there. A great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Getting set now over the putt. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Oh, this is right at it.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. He'll take par and move on. Now to the par 5, 12. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Really? This is an awkward length.
So close. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole. Missed opportunity. This would be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Oh, you hate to miss from that distance. And he has it for birdie. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. Hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. This, the second shot here at the par 4. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Trying to make yet another birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here, and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Really solid stroke.
Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other. But really, when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely. So play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity. Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
Good swing, good shot yet again. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's that sneaky distance.
So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. Has this putt for birdie. That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards. He's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Oh my goodness, that is on in one. Wow, what an incredible shot to win the Tiburon Championship. Will not be happy with that one. Settles in over the putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a great putt and a great win. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mountain Shootout.
That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Frank, now the second shot here at the par 4 opening hole. And what are we looking at?
Well, with a short iron in hand, Rich, I mean, you just go flag hunting straight out of the gate. It's a generous green. This looks like it's going to find the target.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Record that as a birdie to bring the score to 1 under for the tournament. Here at the par 3 second hole, just about 170 yards. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
That drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round. Frank, plenty of scoring opportunities in the early portion of this golf course. We're now at a par 5, the third hole, and it's only 528 yards.
You can see why we're going to see a lot of people perhaps being 3 under through the first 3 holes, Rich. This par 5 bending to the right, very reachable. Just keep that tee shot nice and high off the tee. Let it carry as far as possible.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's no snack, though.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, you have to be impressed with what you've seen from the golfer so far.
It's rock solid. The ultimate of professional, doing exactly what you should be on a day like today.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Nice par to remain 3 under. Well, again, Frank, we get that good mix of holes here. We've had a couple of par 3s, a short par 5, and that opening par 4. Now at the 5th hole, 424-yard par 4.
The first bunker on the right, not really in play for the good players. Just be a little cognizant of that one on the left side, depending on what club you want to hit off the tee. Ideally, that line is the 3rd bunker, the one in the distance. It's a good line off the tee here.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, That one gets him in the top 10.
So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. It's second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Frank, what's the key here at the fifth hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers, first one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, this is a place where you can really sort of commune with nature. It's absolutely spectacular out here, isn't it?
I've forgotten how pretty it is. Canada, no disrespect, but, elk, some of the wildlife. Golf course is just beautiful, too. The view, I mean, it's very easy to get distracted.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Even par currently.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, the sixth here at Banff Springs a good little hole, isn't it?
It is very tempting, very easy to sort of just stand up there and wail away with the driver and get caught. This is a generous fairway. You could hit any club down there and you're not going to have a problem with a second shot. So it's just trying to find a yardage that you're comfortable with.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. This can be a cruel game at times. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now to the second par 5 on this opening 9. Frank, this is a pretty long hole, 602 yards.
Well, it's called hoodoo. You know what hoodoo means? It means bad luck, actually, so you don't really want to be thinking about that on this tee shot. 602 yards, if you belt one off the tee, well, you might avoid the bad luck.
That's in the fairway. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. This is a good-looking shot. And another green in regulation. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Frank, where is that thing?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Back-to-back birdies. We'll see. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Just love the variety here on the front side. Frank coming off that short par 3 8th.
When he goes after it like he is here. Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways.
Happiness is a long walk after that one.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. And he has it for birdie. So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live third round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. What a shot. Perfectly placed right next to the hole. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that. But really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Now at the sixth hole here at Banff Springs, it's a short par 4, only 373 yards, and the short par 4, Frank, all the rage in golf course architecture these days.
A lot more strategy involved when you've got a hole that you can nearly reach with a tee shot. It's how far back do you leave it, what sort of distance you want that second shot. All those things to compute. Straightforward, a little bit uphill. Basically, it's what you want for your second shot.
Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. 602-yard par 5, 7th hole. Frank, I'm guessing you want to take the big stick out and let it rip here.
Saw Rory McIlroy hit his tee shot here. So far, he had an iron in.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. And from the fairway for his second shot here. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that was a bold effort at eagle there, Frank.
Oh, you got to applaud him there, though. You're going for eagle. There's no way he was going to leave it short.
And with that birdie, moves to third place. Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. And that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today?
Just moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live final round coverage of the Mountain Shootout.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Made a par in his previous round, this time it's for birdie. Needs a few more of those, that was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, looking out here on the 15th hole, this looks like a spot where you could really crank one that you could tell your buddies about.
It's another hole that suits a player that hits the ball right to left. It's no surprise to see why Rory McIlroy plays well around here. Nice, big, high towering draw. It's going to go that extra yardage because of the elevation.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Moving on to number 16 now. It's a par 4, 414 yards. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
It's another hole that'll favour a nice sort of high draw off the tee. It'll set up that second shot to a green that has got several different levels on it. Oh, they've had some meat behind it.
Now to the second shot here at the 16th. And Frank, what's ahead?
Minimally uphill, but it actually plays uphill. The reason why is because all that front section of the green rolls back towards the player. So you've got to carry the ball all the way to the flag.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. And getting ready for the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. That is a solid par putt. Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards of par 4, that is, you know you're going to get a short on your iron. You know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. Green does slope back to front, so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Too bad, misses the putt and an opportunity. Just a couple of feet. He takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Here we are at the 18th at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5. Frank, did you like to finish a round with a par 5?
Certainly if I could birdie it, that's for sure. And there's a good chance here at 18 you can, but there's bunkers galore. They're all in play for various standards of play. But the reward is if you can pump one down the middle of the fairway there, and then you reduce this par 5 to simply a drive and an iron. Good
tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Frank, this is a pretty important shot. Second here to the par 5 18th.
That's a great tee shot now. The opportunity in front is, well, it's delightful, really. A good second shot here. Chance for eagle.
Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving it left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.